Hello, everybody.
Ow.
We the first thing I on the stream today is going to be me going hello, everyone, and Doctor Evil going ow in the background.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Taylor and I have adopted a new pug puppy, and she is teething, so she's biting everything.
Yeah. Well, that and I mean, and then I have a puppy who his name is Gizmo, and Mr. Appa can't see him, but he's in the stream right now, so I'm holding him. He'll sit on my lap the whole time, and he'll just be happy. He's a little white French bulldog, but he's adorable. So, yeah, puppies are great. So, everybody, we are finishing up. What is this, week 4 of the Into the Wild League, right?
Yes, week 4.
I am Rod, and with me today is Appa. It's wonderful to cast with you today, sir.
Yeah, finally. We haven't been able to do it yet.
I know, dude. It's
the Rappa stream is gonna be good.
I know it's gonna be very, very nice. Everyone is so eager to cast these games that you sit there and what are they starting their games already? God damn it, these two. Here, tell them. Can you message them and tell them not to play? We have to give the rules and shit. Oh God, these guys are so eager. I mean, I'm glad that they want to play, but we have to give the rules. We're still doing our intros. I said we're going live. I didn't tell them to start playing. Silly bitches. So, okay, cool. So, God, it's been shenanigans. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Everybody. So, okay, we're going to go over the rules, and then we'll let these eager viewers play. Okay, this is the Into the Wild League. So, this is the format for the league. Every week, players choose 3 classes. Then the next week, they choose 3 of the remaining 6 classes, and the last week they have the 3 classes they don't get to pick. We're on week 2 of this cycle, so they had 6 classes to pick. So you basically have to rotate through all 9 classes over a 3-week period. There is an interesting thing with this because of the 7-player rule, like leagues, like I don't know. Divisions is the word I was looking for. There are bye weeks though, so some weeks players will have access to more classes than other weeks, so that's an interesting thing. I think Nate said that math was hard and he added too many players, but no. So Appa, did you want to go over the rules for this week, because we have special deck building rules every other week in this league, so we have special deck building rules this week.
Yeah, so for this week, there's an interesting rule set that they decided on, which I actually liked a lot. Watching Taylor build her decks and stuff, it was a really interesting restriction. So each of the 3 decks have to conform to what they call a standard year, I guess. Well, so basically what I'm trying to say is there's the Kraken, there's Raven, and then there's Mammoth.
Yep.
And Kraken they determined it's going to be decks or cards from Naxxramas, Old Gods, Karasan, and Gadgetzan. And Classic and Basic is included in all of these.
Yep.
So you can only play cards in your Kraken deck from those sets. And then for Raven, it's the Grand Tournament, League of Explorers, Witchwood, Boomsday, Classic, Basic, and Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah.
You can play those too. And then Mammoth is Blackrock Mountain, Journey to Ungoro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and Kobolds and Catacombs. So these are the 3 deck restrictions they had to work with. So they have to play 1 deck with the Kraken sets, 1 with Raven, and then 1 with Mammoth. So decks are going to be, they may look a little suboptimal or a little wonky, but that's going to be due to the deck building challenge that players were given.
I really like it because it makes it so you could go out and neck that, but you have to then modify things, or you have to make things into the rule set. So it's a really interesting thing, and it really challenges players to, see what they can do with these restrictions. They still have access to lots of cards at that point, right? They're not. Yeah,
there's a lot of different archetypes that exist. Like there's Jaedru, there's Cthulhu stuff. There's a bunch of different stuff within these different groups of sets.
Yeah.
But there's not really very many resources for all of these sets together at once, and just these. So it's a really interesting skill set that it's testing for each of the players this week.
And it's an interesting thing because that's one of the wonderful things about this league is that you never know what to expect with these decks, right? Because you don't know which deck they're going to build and bring with which rule set, and so it's so skill testing in like building, and then you're also like queuing things into what order and whatnot. So I think that's gonna do it. I think we're get ready. If you tell them they can get going, and we can get this shindig on the road. Oh, is that so? Did the older pugs not want to deal with the baby, because that's what it's like at my house?
Well, sort of at first. They're warming up to her.
Yeah.
But she's also stealing all of their toys.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that's Gizmo keeps stealing Ripley's stick that she loves, and she gets pissed off about it, and yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So we have Matt queuing up a J Druid, and this is Craig's Miracle Rogue. Yeah.
Matt's J Druid deck is going to be his Kraken deck, which is Naxxramas, Old Gods, Karasan, and Gadgetzan. And I also forgot to mention that there was an optional deck building restriction as well, and that was to include as many weaponized pinatas in your deck as possible.
So basically use the best card in the game in every deck.
Clearly.
Weaponized Pinata is a fun card, man. I've been playing some even Shaman with it in the list. It was like Slizzle's list, and I really like it in that deck. It's not like the best, but it's not the worst either, and it could really high roll you some games.
Yeah, it's one of those value generating cards. It's actually not bad whenever you get something decent, but the times where it's bad, it's real bad.
Well, yeah, like I was playing with it the other day and pulled a Mayor Noggenfogger, and I'm like, oh, this is from 0 to 10 not useful at all. So it'll be interesting, because I feel like if Craig doesn't get going real fast here, that MattAtArms is just going to build up tons of armor and heal himself. He's got this Moonglade portal. What armor cards is Matt running in this list? Let's see.
I believe he just has... Sorry, I have to scroll up.
Yeah.
Discord chat. He has Feral Rage, and that's actually it for armor cards. It's not the armor gain menace that we know from standard today. So it's a little bit easier for Miracle Rogue to punch through, but he's going to need to develop some tempo onto the board. His hand's kind of clunky right now, but he gets to go, after this turn, he gets to go Pinata into Loatheb into Auctioneer.
Yeah.
So I like this Mark of Shards just for tempo and pushing some damage.
He didn't really have much else to do this turn either, right? He had he had the Fan of Knives, which is really never going to be all that useful against Druid, but he decides to like make his presence on the board better and use that. And I like that also. I think it was the right move.
Yeah, for this series, we'll see a much more fair Druid deck than what we know right now.
Yeah.
Because Druid actually has some weaknesses with these sets to aggressive boards, and it might have a little bit of trouble coming back on a lost board. But Matt has an okay hand right here. He'll probably want a Mire Keeper, just gain some mana so he can make these Auctioneers better, so he can go through his deck quicker.
So Moonglade Portal was like the first spell card that like did something and gave you a minion, right? That was like they've done that since for other classes, and you go down to like Medivh and stuff like that. But I think that was the first time they did that kind of interaction, which later got used a lot more, right? They had all the portal cards later on.
Well, the portal cards were all in Karazhan.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so many friggin' cards in this game sometimes. So you're like, what set was this in? Yeah, see, this is the problem is with these 2/4 attack minions on the board, what is Matt doing here? I mean, he could ramp, but what is it?
I think he wants to nerf for mana crystals here, and then just hope he starts like popping off with Auctioneer next turn, because his hand is so clunky. Meanwhile, Craig's is really, really strong.
Yeah, he could just play this Loatheb this turn and just prevent Matt from doing anything, and that's what he's gonna do.
I do not miss Loatheb. Is nuts.
Dude, Loatheb is, again, it's one of those cards that they're trying to avoid building anymore, because that card can go in literally almost any deck that isn't like an even deck. the aggro decks use it, the control decks use it, and I think that's gonna be game, or pretty much game. So he's got 9, 11, and
It's 13, right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 with Shiv.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is just actually lethal.
Yeah.
Thanks to Lotheb.
Yep. I don't know if it was going to do much in the long run otherwise, because the only other card in Matt's hand was that Moonglade portal. But
Yeah. And this is...
Oh, Craig, don't miss. Are you BMing? Are you really not seeing it lethal? Come on, Craig.
he messaged me before the match, and he was like, I'm nervous about my Miracle Rogue play.
Yeah.
Craig, if you're watching this later, please play the Shiv and kill this man.
Please, please, please. There you go. There you go. Craig, you thought about that way too long. Again.
It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you get there.
Yep, this is true. So that's going to be game 1 here. So, bottom 3 check. And we're going to update the score. Man, that's, yeah, one of those things, and I know when I first started playing Hearthstone, Miracle Rogue was intimidating, man. It was like, it's one of those decks where you go, that shit's hard to play. It takes a lot of, like, you know, knowledge of the game, and it's one of the hardest decks to pilot. And that was when I started playing, when it was like after Naxxramas, where it was like, you know, Oil Rogue and stuff. I didn't start, like, Rogue was one of my last classes I started playing, and then I fell in love with it. But man, it can be very intimidating.
Yeah, Rogue was probably like my 6th class that I picked up, because it was really intimidating, mostly because of what I heard from the community, and that Miracle Rogue and Oil Rogue and that kind of stuff is hard. Yeah. And I mean, it is kind of difficult, but I think it's presented in a way that makes it seem more intimidating than it should be. Yeah. Because Miracle Rogue is just a tempo deck with Auctioneer as a like refill tool.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is, because that deck was often like you had to plan turns out, and I think that was kind of the intimidating part. And Rogue, like, for a long time, like, if you didn't have like anti-Keel bots and stuff, it wasn't easy. You can tell them to get going. We'll get into the next game.
Okay. Yeah, I think Miracle Rogue is actually one of the best decks to learn the game on.
Yeah.
Because it teaches you so many skills. Yeah. Because it just requires so much all at once. It's nice to.
It's kind of like Zoo when Zoo isn't like, not this Zoo as much. Because this Zoo the Zoo that's kind of going around in standard right now, kind of like, I don't like as much, because I feel like people play it more like an aggro deck than like a tempo deck, kind of like, you know.
Yeah, like a mid-range board control deck.
Yeah. So Matt is bringing his Secret Paladin kind of list.
Yeah, so this is his Raven deck. It's a weird Secret Paladin deck with Weaponized Pinata, and then it tops out at Prince Liam to turn all the secrets into legendaries. And then Craig is just playing Exodia Mage, because all of those cards pretty much fall into the Mammoth.
Yeah. I do like some Exodia Mage. And Craig is not going to have an answer to this right away.
Yeah, but he can take it really slow. Yeah. The Secret Keeper, it looks intimidating, but it's...
He's going to coin out a Doomsayer? Oh, no, he's going to coin out the Archaeologist. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I can get behind this. I was going to say if he coins out the Doomsayer, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
But I think the Archaeologist is okay here.
He also doesn't know that Matt's hand was super, super awkward. And this is actually a really strong play for Matt, because he gets to protect his Secret Keeper.
Yeah, if I was Craig, I would attack first to test for maximum possible secrets before spending any mana on anything.
Yep.
Then after its Noble Sack, I would play Doomsayer, and then you would get the counter with Equality, and then running the... I don't like the ping first. I like testing to the secret before spending your mana on anything.
I understand you don't know what it is right away, and that's your first thing, but like, I think you're right. You're putting yourself in a corner where you don't have any. It doesn't matter what the secret is at that point, because you don't have any options. You don't have any mana left. So.
Yeah, because pinging doesn't test for a secret, it's better to just attack first, test for maximum possible secrets, and then figure out what you want to spend your mana on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a minor thing.
Yep. And Craig can't play his ice block. I mean, because of the secret keeper on the board.
Oh yeah, buff secret keeper.
As I've been playing some Secret Hunters standard lately, and like you have like I was playing a Hunter the other day, and he was playing secrets. I'm like, cool, dude, thanks. I'm like,
So what play do you like here? I think he has two reasonable plays. One is a quality, kill it with a 1/1 hero power, and then one is True Silver.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I kind of like True Silver just to develop the 4 mana while you can.
yeah, and it stops Craig from being able to ping down the Secret Keeper this turn. I don't know, is Craig needs to start drawing cards here, but his hand is kind of awkward. He's got this Novice Engineer. He does have the Acolyte of Pain, but like he's not going to play that on the board because he's got because of Matt's True Silver, right? So
Yeah. That Conical was actually a really nice pickup because you can combo that with Doomsayer later on in the game if he needs to.
it was a real like that card into this matchup with Matt going wide is really, really strong. So
this turn's kind of interesting. He has a few different plays he can go for. Okay, this one's just the most mana efficient. I was gonna say he could go for a greedy line and kill the 1/1 with his True Silver, and then Keeper ruled him on the Argent Squire and just start getting in there. But that's really bad to a freeze effect and a Doomsayer. So I like his conservative play here.
Is Matt running Blessing of Kings in this list? I looked at it, but I forget.
Let me double check.
I would think he has to be doing some kind of buff with this Paragon of Light.
He's not playing Blessing, but he is playing a copy of Sound the Bells.
Okay.
And then
I really actually like that play from Craig a lot. The pinging the Acolyte. It's because his whole point now, and he's not going to overdraw him. He didn't have any 1-attack minions left either, so that was the thing too. But Craig drawing as much as his deck as possible is going to get him to where he wants to be in the end game. But he's in a lot of trouble. He's at what, 14 health, and this board is hard to deal with, and he doesn't have a lot of options. Maybe he plays a couple arcane artificers and plays like an ice block, or plays the Cone of Cold. I think that might.
I think what I would like to see here, is a Cone of Cold in the middle, ping off the Secret Keeper. Well, I mean, he goes for the Doomsayer. He's gonna get punished by the Equality, which is okay.
Yeah.
But I think pinging off the Secret Keeper is fine there, because you're not really worried about burst from Paladin for the most part.
Yep.
You're just worried about managing the board while just gaining armor and developing ice blocks and stuff.
Yep.
Now he can clean up a couple things, or one minion with his hero power.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably be inclined to hit a 3/1, but there's an argument to hitting the Secret Keeper as well.
Yeah. Well,
If he wants to play Secret this turn, he'll want to ping off the Secret Keeper.
Yeah. I don't know how much I like that. I think you got to ping the Secret Keeper off because he's got to get this ice block up ASAP. No, don't! No! Craig, no! No, Craig, no! Craig, no! Craig, no! Ping the Secret Keeper. No, Craig! Craig, no. Oh, no, Craig, no. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to play the Artificer this turn. I think you want to save that generally for Blizzards anyways.
Yeah.
But I think just leading off with pinging Secret Keeper and developing an Ice Barrier or a block buys you upwards of a turn worth of armor or the ability to take an extra turn anyways.
Yeah.
So
he's got well this next turn he's going to play the Blizzard, right? So he's gonna put this other Arcane Artificer up, presumably, and then Blizzard.
Yeah, I think he's in an okay spot here.
Yeah.
Like, Matt didn't have the punish for it, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but I think that's just a little sequencing thing.
Yeah. I love the music for the Glass Knight. It's just fun.
I play with sound off a lot of the time, so I don't here. Card
Oh,
animations.
yeah. I
cards-
mean, that's the same because I play on my phone so much, and it's just
Yeah.
never with sound at that point. But I don't even like I don't have the music on, especially when you're casting because you don't need the music. But
Yeah. This is something that's gonna pop back out with this, the Secret Keeper. And this decision to not ping off the Secret Keeper.
is
It's coming back.
it's punishing Craig.
Oh wow, and he gets to play a secret and kill the Artificer now?
Yep. And,
No.
and then he's not gonna. I mean, you're gonna have to kill the Secret Keeper, Craig, because you don't have any more AOE. You don't have like. And the real awkward thing for Craig too right now is that he's got this hand, and what is he missing for his combo? He's got a
He needs Emperor and a Simulacrum, I believe.
yeah.
And he has these 2 cold lights which can draw him cards, but he also doesn't want to give Matt extra cards. So it's a little awkward.
Yeah.
And he also has to manage this board, because this board is no joke.
Yeah, it's 3, 7, 11, 13, 16 power. So he is 2 off of lethal, just off of the board. I think he's gonna have to Frost Nova here, right? Because he's already dropped both Doomsayers anyway, so he's not gonna be able to Frost Nova Doomsayer.
Yeah, Frost Nova from this point on is going to basically read 3 mana, take an extra turn.
Yeah,
Because
3
you're
mana.
just trying to fight against the board.
Yeah, 3 mana, don't die.
Yeah.
Man, I love Sound the Bells. I think our card is a really cool design,
Yeah. It's an interesting one for sure.
especially with Liadra.
Yeah. So he almost has the full combo set up. The problem is that he's going to be a little constrained on mana
Yeah.
in that he has so much stuff he needs to do in the next few turns. He has to deal with the board. He has to draw the Simulacrum, play it, get the discount on this Sorcerer's Apprentice. He also has to develop this Ice Block as well.
And yeah, him not killing that Secret Keeper may be the decision that like loses Craig this game, because he had that chance that one turn to ping it off, and then it gets redemptioned after that, and man, it is looking like
It's just kind of developing, or it's unnecessary pressure at this point, essentially. This
Yeah.
Blizzard was a really nice draw, though.
yeah, it was.
It's definitely the sort of card he's looking for, because you could Novice Engineer combo that with Blizzard, try and look for the other combo piece,
Yeah.
and then kind of deal with the board with his cold lights if he's able to. He's just looking to buy time at this point.
Yeah, this is called Freeze Mage. Don't die by making your opponent sit there and twiddle their thumbs because they can't do anything.
Yeah. I'm glad we don't have to deal with Ice Block in Standard anymore.
Yeah, I often am like playing against mages and I'm like, oh, and then Ice Block. Oh wait, they don't have Ice Block, and you're like, oh, I just get to kill them because no one runs Ice Barrier either. So it's like you basically know what you have to get through to kill a mage now. And
So if I was Craig here, I would ping the 1/1 first to test for redemption and those kinds of things.
no,
And use the Blizzard.
no, Craig, no. He played that Ice Block. He's gonna Frost Nova. Okay.
Yeah, this play's good too because it develops the Ice Block. I just generally like using my more expensive freezes first.
Yep. And
This is another little sequencing thing. If he pinged that first, popped redemption, then he would have had this 2/2 frozen.
yeah. This is the problem for MattAtArms is he just can't do anything. He just keeps getting frozen, and it's
Yeah, Freeze Mage has traditionally been good against board-centric Paladin decks because of the ability to just lock down what they're doing with one card over and over again.
Oh.
And then they also have to push through 2 Ice Blocks to end the game.
Yep.
Is this enough?
I think it looks like he's going to drop the Emperor, and he doesn't care at this point because he's got the second Ice Block in hand. So he's got 2 turns. He doesn't care at this point if is he? Oh,
He's almost guaranteed to have the combo anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
yeah. So he goes Emperor and then goes, well played. Why?
Well, I don't think he needs a simulacrum first, right? Because he can just copy after, but...
I think, that's
oh,
an interesting.
no.
What is Craig doing? He had the
His simulacrum copied the Archaeologist.
What is? Craig, you're killing me, Smalls. It's people don't realize though, man. You're in these things, and you know people are watching you, and it can be kind of nerve wracking.
It can be very difficult to keep composure.
I mean, not all of us have won $2,000 playing Hearthstone on stream.
Look, man. All
right. Okay. So this is the problem because now he's gonna have to. He doesn't have the simulacrum now, and
yeah, this is gonna be an issue for Craig now because he's gonna get popped at 1. Then he'll have this True Silver to contest this ice block next turn. So what Craig's gonna have to do is Blizzard the board and then Ice Barrier, and hope that Matt doesn't have any actual burst damage. Oh nope, he's just dead to fatigue.
Yeah.
JK.
That's why I don't know why he didn't play that Emperor last turn. That was his that was how he won. He would have him playing that Simulacrum instead of the problem was he had to play the damn Archaeologist anyways, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So how does Simulacrum actually pick? Because if you have the Sorcerer's Apprentice, how does it pick at that point?
It just picks at random.
Does it?
Like if you have the Archaeologist and then a Sorcerer's Apprentice, it'll just be a 50-50 on what it copies. So you just want to empty your hand of everything that's 2 or less, like Doomsayer's Archaeologist, before you Simulacrum.
That was it was a fun match. Let me update the score on here.
So Matt picks up game 2 with his Secret Paladin.
Yeah, that was interesting, and I thought, Craig, these Exodia decks they're not easy to play because you're sitting there and you're going, I have to deal with the board, I have to get my combo pieces. You have so many things you need to do in limited mana.
It always feels when I'm playing one of these decks, it feels like I'm playing StarCraft because I have to manage so many things at once, and you have to constantly keep like different timers and trackers in your head and stuff. You have to manage your opponent's board, you have to manage your freezes, you have to manage your life total, you have to manage cards in your deck, you have to manage cards in your hand, your combo, you have to make sure you have the exact pieces, you have to make sure you have enough spells after you combo to proc the fireballs. There's a lot going on. It's not an easy deck to play.
I mean, that, and you're sitting there going, how do I deal with the board? Like, we were wondering, I mean, Craig should have probably dealt with that Secret Keeper earlier in the game, and he didn't, and you have to go, would that have mattered? I don't know in the long run. You often think you have to. That's why you should be like during your opponent's entire turn. You have to be thinking. You can tell them to get going, and we'll get on to the game 3.
So the Secret Paladin was Matt's Raven deck, so that one is out.
Yep.
And then game 1 again was Craig's Kraken deck. So we have Exodia Mage again, and Odd Hunter, which is Craig's Raven deck. And then we have Jade Druid is the Kraken deck for Matt, and then Kingsbane is the Mammoth deck for Matt. Which I know we're both huge fans of Kingsbane Rogue.
That's why whenever I see someone play Kingsbane Rogue, I like in tweeting about it, I often tweet out the puppet from Team America just like vomiting excessively. Man, that card is bad, but then you combine it with Valera, and it just makes it so much worse. If Valera amplifies like problem cards, right? Because when you get to play an extra copy for free, so you could play potentially up to 4 copies, you start going, well, this is a problem.
Yeah, so we have Jade Druid again versus Exodia Mage, and I would think that this match has to be good for Exodia Mage, only because Jade Druid takes so long to develop like significant threats and get through its deck, and Exodia Mage doesn't care about armor. When it gets the combo, you're dead from like 200 life. It doesn't matter. You're gonna die. So I think Jade Druid is going to have a problem dealing with ice blocks in general, and I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be able to develop quick enough.
Yeah.
So I think Matt has a leg up here, but I think Craig has a leg up here. Yeah.
And the problem is too, if you don't bust their ice block at 1, then you're in real problems because they could start, freezing your board, and your hero power doesn't do jack to that. So it starts putting you at real like issues.
Yeah, and missing this turn, I would like to see Matt Wrath and draw a card here.
Yeah.
Because he really needs to turbo through his deck very quickly to be able to combat this combo.
Yeah.
I can definitely see the attraction to only hero powering, but in this scenario where you're not fighting for board, I think just turning this Wrath into a different card is better.
Yeah, so Wrath generally, when you're playing Druid against like aggro, is a 3 damage, and against slower and control and combo, you usually want to use it as a cycle card.
Yeah, you just want to turn it into any other card in your deck, pretty much.
And this is a
Jade
good
Blossom was pretty nice, though.
Yeah. And it's funny because people have gone back to playing a lot of Jade Druid in Wild because it kind of counters Starline or Druid, because you could just out-armor them.
Yeah, it gains a bunch of armor, and then it can like poison seeds the board or deal with the board that's left over, and then it just starts killing you with random Jade dudes.
As soon as you poison seed their board, though, they're dead, right? Because the thing with Starline or Druid is it is completely 100% all in on one thing. Unless
that's why they started playing Medivh now. So after they like use their combo, if it doesn't completely work, then they have a chance with the weapon.
I thought,
but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Oh, this naturalize. I like this naturalize.
Oh,
if he
that's
burns
dirty.
A significant combo piece, that could just be game.
Yeah. So he burns a cold light.
I would like to see Matt just go Jade Idol, Jade Blossom.
Yep.
This is also fine. I'm not sure how much I like ramping there. I think he should have made a 2/2.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what's he really ramping to all that much? I know he has Yogg in his deck, which is kind of awesome.
Yes!
I
love
Our Lord
Yogg.
and Savior Yogg.
Yogg is the reason why I started playing Druid. I didn't play that much Druid, and then Yogg came, and I'm like, oh, okay, I love Druid now. And now I have 1,300 plus Druid wins.
I always hated playing with Yogg and Druid. At the prelim tournament that I went to, that I top 16'd at, I think I'm the only player in the top 16 not playing Yogg. I put in a copy of Sylvanas to be able to beat my opponent's Yoggs. Because at that point, if it stole the Yogg mid-cast, it started casting the spells for you.
Well, it's funny because at that point that was the before Yogg came out, Druid's only thing was really combo, or it was and I hated that stupid combo, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm not gonna play Druid. And then Yogg came out, and I'm like, oh, I could clear their board and do crazy crap. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, so here for Matt, I think I like wrathing the Doomsayer, finishing it off with minions, and then just developing Jade Idol.
Yep.
I think that gives you the most pressure on board and develops cleanest with the mana that he has. So
I agree. Yeah. I feel like these Feral Rages are gonna have to be like burst damage, because like you said earlier, they
these Feral Rages are 3 mana, deal 4 to your opponent.
Yeah,
3 mana heroic strikes.
Yep. That's what they have to be, because the armor's never gonna matter.
Armor's just irrelevant here.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Matt has an idea what Craig's game plan is, even though he didn't see it, because of that Simulacrum was probably enough info.
I think the second you see Simulacrum out of a slow mage deck, you're like, okay, they're playing Exodia Mage, and they're planning on getting all these pieces together to play Infinite Fireballs with Antonidas.
And so he has...
So this should be enough for the combo, right? So 6, 7, 8, and then the second Molten costs 2, and then the third one costs 1. So, yeah, you should have enough with the coin to be able to do that. So it looks like Craig has the combo assembled already.
Yeah.
That's good.
Craig goes, I'm not going to mess up and not use my Emperor this time.
Yeah, he messaged me after the game, and he said, all right, no more Simulacrum.
Did we get the well played from Craig?
I think he has to wait until he gets 10 mana, but he does have the combo set up. because he has to play the Antonidas, and the 2 sorcerers are 8,
okay.
and then
Yeah.
the Molten Reflection will cost 1, so that's 9. The second one's free, and then after that, he just has to play any spell, and then he has access to infinite fireballs.
Yeah. Does he have to get anything out of his hand? No. He's got...
No, I don't think so. He just kind of sits pretty here. And this is the problem with Jade Druid versus this kind of strategy, is they're just playing a completely different... They're functioning on a completely different axis than Jade Druid.
Yep.
Jade Druid's like trying to fight horizontally, and Mage is just like in the air, like flying a plane. It's like, you can't hit me.
It's the whole, like, one guy's playing... Instead of chess and checkers, one guy's playing chess, and one guy's playing, like... I don't know, 3D.
Like Craig's playing chess right now, and Matt's effectively playing kickball. That's like what's happening.
Exactly. You're not even in the same ballpark. And it feels bad, man. Well, that's the thing. Like, Jade Druid is the deck that's supposed to be like countering slow control decks, right? It's the you can't ever run me out of resources. And
if it was like a graph, it would. Against slow decks, it would climb up at a peak, and then it would drop off, because that's when decks start getting slow enough that they get greedy enough to run these combos.
Yeah, exactly.
And when they're running those combos, then Jade Druid has a really tough time. They can beat fair, slow control decks, because they make infinite Jade Idols at the end of the game, where they start shuffling them in with Auctioneer, and they just have inevitability that way. But if that's not what the game's about, then Jade Druid has a really bad time.
Yeah, and... It's like I said, right now it's in a weird spot because it can do what it can against Starliner, but it doesn't have that way to get around these kind of like OTKs. I mean, you would have
especially in this deck building restriction format. You don't have access to quite a few different kinds of cards.
Yeah, things like Dirty Rat.
Yeah. So this looks like it should be game this turn for Craig if I did the combo in my head right.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Dr. Morgan making an appearance.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, Weaponized Pinata. You the real MVP.
I don't know.
So the second Molten Reflection is going to cost 1.
Yep.
The second one's going to be free, and then he can play any of his spells to generate a fireball, and then each fireball generates another fireball, and the game continues that way while Craig throws fireballs at Matt's face, and then he is dead.
Yep, this is true. Is Craig going to BM on top of it? Is he going to kill the minions? No, looks like he's just going to throw fireballs at Matt's face.
Look, I think if in the past game you Simulacrum and Arcanologist, I don't think you BM.
No, I don't think so either. I think
you have a little more class.
I have prematurely marked the check mark on Craig's box because this is going to kill our friend MattAtArms here.
Yeah, so the last deck Craig is going to have, which I think might actually give him some trouble to win with, is Odd Hunter, and that's his Raven deck. So that's going to be the Grand Tournament, League of Explorers, Witchwood, and Boomsafe. And Odd Hunter is a very good proactive strategy, but if it runs into its opponents having the right counter cards, then it just like straight up can't win.
Yeah, and then
but it may line up well against Matt's Kingsbane Rogue if it goes to that.
Yeah.
So I wonder what Matt's going to queue up here. If I was him, I'd probably queue up the Jade Druid because you do have access to big scaling minions. You have the taunts, you have the armor gain, so I think that's probably the better matchup.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to get right into it, so let's go.
Wasting no time here.
Yep.
I like it. Okay, so we're gonna see Kingsbane versus Odd Hunter,
which is not a good matchup for Matt, I feel like.
Yeah, I think Matt may have thought this was going to be Death Rattle Hunter because that fits in the Raven restrictions really well.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually played too much Kingsbane Rogue, but I kind of understand the theory of it.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say in the mulligan, I think keeping the prep vanish is important, especially if he thinks that it's going to be a Death Rattle Hunter.
Yeah. Or, I mean, there's so many things going around right now. So this is his Year of the Raven, Craig's Year of the Raven, right?
Yes.
So
Wait. Yeah.
So he also could have played, like one of these mech hunters, right? Or maybe not, because so much of their, like, firepower is from older sets.
There is a mech theme in Craigslist.
Okay.
He tops out effectively at War Gear and Ziliax and Leroy as like his burst finishers. He plays 2 Giggling Inventors, and he also has a Desert Camel package with Injured Cavaldier, Mecharoo, and Argent Squire. I actually like his deck a good bit. It looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, this is the problem with Kingsbane though. Like it eats slower decks, but man, it can have real problems with aggro because aggro doesn't give them the time to go crazy.
The way Matt's looking to win this game is to find weapon buffs and then find leeching poison to give his weapon lifesteal, so he just doesn't care about the hero power of the board presence very much.
Yep. And he's gonna need to get a lot of it because we see that Craig is running things like the Black Walled Pixie.
Yeah, you can either run it down on turn 4 or turn 3 as a spider tank, or you can wait until 7 for 6 damage burst. So it's a nice flexible card in the list.
Yeah, and it's just a powerful card with what Craig wants to do.
So here, this looks kind of counterintuitive, but I think I would have played Evasion there because I think Craig wants to play 3-drop, which gives you the ability to develop that Evasion with 2 mana anyways. Yeah. And all Evasion's going to do is kind of negate X amount of damage, where X is whatever's on the board minus whatever attacked you.
Yeah. And he's going to play this saucy squid face.
So
just contest the board.
Yeah, I think I would like playing Bronze Gatekeeper on the Mecharoo and just getting in there. You're just looking to hit him as hard as possible, as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And this makes it to where Matt can't trade off his squid face very well.
Yeah, and if Matt doesn't get a leeching poison here pretty soon, or he's gonna be in trouble. Is he gonna prep Vanish?
No, I think he's just gonna go for prep Fan.
Okay.
Here, he's just looking to improve his quality of his draws right now because it is pretty awkward. Yeah, I think he'll just go Naga, Corsair. Oh, okay, I like this play too. Just boomerang this so you can re-equip the Kingsbane so you can get more value out of the Naga Corsair Battlecry.
What?
I think I would have actually liked for him to dagger up, hit the Mecharoo minion, the Joey bot, and then re-equip Kingsbane so he doesn't lose the durability on it.
Yeah. Well, the problem is if he daggered up, it would have destroyed the weapon and put it back into his deck.
I mean, after he boomeranged, he had a sequence where he could doomerang, dagger up, kill it, and then play Kingsbane.
Yeah.
Just to save an extra durability on it.
Yeah, he really needs this leeching poison. Really bad.
That's definitely the card that he's going to be looking for. If I was Craig, I would just play this War Gear.
Yeah.
I think I'd play War Gear and probably... This turn's actually kind of interesting. Because playing War Gear is fine, and then you can kill the squid face, or you can just go face, but that leaves the opportunity to trade into the War Gear.
Yeah.
So it's kind of Craig trying to figure out what's going on in Matt's hand.
Yeah.
Because it can be kind of difficult to play against all of the different possibilities.
Yeah, he's going to have to get one of these evasions up here real fast because Craig is going to have a lot of damage coming at his face, and he still doesn't have that lifesteal. Yeah,
if Matt doesn't find lifesteal, his leeching poison, Craig can legitimately just press his hero power 4 times and the game is over.
Yeah. And that's not even mentioning any of these minions he has. I mean,
which I think I would actually like to see him play Cavaldier and just hero power because of that clock that it presents on its own.
Yeah.
And then next turn he can play 5-drop hero power, then 5-drop hero power.
Yep. And
then hero power again.
Yeah, he really wants to get a hero power in every single turn at this point just to do that damage. So.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to determine right now. I think he knows that if Matt had a leeching poison, he would have played it already, so he's just hoping that he doesn't draw one.
Yep. There's a deadly poison, so I think he has to trade. He can't. Oh, and he's gonna vanish. Okay.
Yeah, see, we entered a point in the game where these evasions are kind of clunky because he has a redundant copy essentially, which is why I was saying part of why I was saying I would like to see him play it on turn 2, just to see it as 2 mana gain X amount of life, because that's really the important metric in this matchup.
Giggling Inventor. Man, I haven't seen that card in a while. Yeah. Oh, that's really bad. He's gonna have to play this evasion this turn, or he's going to die.
Yeah. Definitely has to evasion here. Captain's Parrot, I guess, can get Squid Face and Naga Corsair out of his deck.
Yeah.
I believe are the 2 targets.
The Boomerang, the 2/1, which I don't hate, but... And then get your Kingsbane back up.
Yeah. There's also an interesting interaction with Divine Shield here, where if he draws Leeching Poison and he attacks into a Divine Shield, it negates the damage, so you don't ever actually gain that life.
Yep. It's actually a really, really good counter for what Matt is trying to do. Oh, that's just lethal.
Yep. I think this game maybe wasn't single-handedly decided by that not playing Evasion on 2, but he definitely died with an extra copy in his hand.
Yep. Okay, so let's go to the final.
Greg picks it up with Odd Hunter.
Yeah, that was it was not what Matt wanted to see there.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a good matchup, and then Matt definitely did not have a good hand for the bad matchup.
Yeah. Here, let me get these two in a call. Craig. I wonder if Craig was playing or recording the podcast at the same time too, because he was doing that earlier. So. Here.
Finished about 30 minutes before we casted, I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. How are we doing, guys? Craig, look at that smile. Look at that smile on Craig's face. Craig,
I feel good.
Did you feel
Hey,
good?
how's it going?
What's up, Matt? What's up, Craig?
Hey, how's it?
Hey,
There we go.
Craig, I want to commend you on your simulacrum play. I found that.
Yeah. And you know what? The thing is I think I might have been good just to play Emperor that turn.
Yeah.
But I also would have been good to play Archaeologist and then play Simulacrum. Either one of those would have won me the game. But instead, I'm like, oh, really? I'm going to play Simulacrum and flip a coin.
So
like I said, go ahead. I want to thank you for that flipping the coin and letting me win that game, because otherwise I'd look like a complete ass.
But then I got so lucky on that second Exodia Mage game. Like every combo, like you burned like 3 cards, and it was just like every card came to my hand. On turn 6 I had the combo, and I don't think I drew almost anything.
Yep.
Yeah, there were multiple points in that one game where you simulacrumed where Rod said, "No, Craig, stop!"
I can't wait to go back and watch it.
So we were giving you crap, Craig, because we were like, kill the Secret Keeper, Craig, kill the Secret Keeper, ping it, Craig, and you did it. We're like, no.
Yeah, that Secret Keeper stuck around for a while.
Yeah, I think it was a 6/6 at one point where I could have used 2 mana to ping it, but that deck is normally a little stressful, but then when you have all these people watching you, it's even more stressful, and then I'm just like trying to look at my hand, and I don't want to run out of mana, and I was so scared. And I forgot about the interaction at first where my secrets power up his freaking 1-drop.
That's what
whenever you're playing a game like that and you're being spectated, you try and put it out of your mind, but there's always that little yellow box in the bottom that says that somebody's watching. Always
2 people watching. It's always.
Well, I had to ask you, Matt. So you went in and you started up that last game. Did you expect him to bring such an aggressive hunter deck?
Not really.
Yeah.
I honestly had no idea what he was going to bring for hunter. It was one of those like, as soon as Baku showed up, I'm like, damn it. I need lifesteal bad.
Yeah.
And then I only have so many turns to do it. And
Matt, I do have to say this is what you get for bringing Kingsbane Rogue.
Yeah. I agree. But the only reason I brought Kingsbane Rogue is because your co-host told me to bring Captain Parrot as a challenge. And I'm like, okay.
So
what?
Someone's very loud. What is going on? Where's that noise coming from? Are you getting?
Is it me or?
It might be wind from you.
I think it might be your mic rubbing against your shirt.
Yeah.
I'm away from my shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was one of those like, okay, let's see what I can do with Kingsbane and make.
Maybe it's Craig. I don't know where the fuck is this coming from. Sorry, dropping F-bombs. No. Yeah, so do you mean the saucy mailman? Was he the one who challenged you to do that?
No,
was it Adam?
No, it's Craig's co-host. It was,
okay. It was Nate. Okay.
Nate, yeah, Nate said because I asked him if I could bring the Hall of Fame set. Like, sure, use Captain's Parrot. Like, okay.
Yeah, we were saying real early on. We were like, yeah, if you don't get lifesteal there real early, you were just gonna get tempoed out. With
yeah,
that.
I was gonna. Yeah, I was like, I tried to get lifesteal. I was so happy to get Kingsbane turn 1, but I'm like, no lifesteal. I'm dead.
Yeah,
I really liked I think it was the second or third last turn in the game from you, Craig, where you definitely recognized that you needed to just press the hero power as much as possible.
Oh, with the 1 drop into the hero power?
Yeah, on your turn 6, instead of playing 5 drop plus 1 drop, you just went 1 drop hero power.
I was like, this needs to end, and I got that giggling inventor was really fortunate too for the war gear.
Yeah, it was Matt. It was real unfortunate that Jade Druid you brought kind of didn't line up with his match.
It didn't
lineup.
work, and
yeah.
I was considering going a little more aggressive with it and bringing like a token type style deck, but it's like and it proves that it's not the Mammoth set that make Druid gross.
Oh no, it's Knights of the Frozen Throne. That's disgusting.
Easily. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should have went with that for my Druid, but I'm like, I then I don't have Jade, and then I don't have this and that, but it's like, you know what? Maybe it's just good enough with Ultimate Infestation and Spreading Plague. So
you guys both played well. It was just I think Craig's lineup just countered what you were trying to do real well, Matt.
Yeah. The Jade Druid seemed like it was built pretty well. Yeah, that's definitely Craig's mic doing that.
Craig, the face he's making while doing it is even better.
I was muted.
But the Jade Druid looks like it was built well. It was just that none of the decks really that Craig was bringing weren't
susceptible to Jade Druid.
Yeah, it's not like what the games mattered about. They weren't like about long-lasting incremental value and inevitability. It was more like, this is how this game's gonna end. Can you interact with it? And Jade Druid's just like, make dudes, ramp, make dudes,
make dudes, and missing all the armor gain is ridiculous.
Yeah, App and I were saying that during the game. We're like, what armor gain is in here? And we're like, yeah, you don't have things like branching paths. Yeah, greater healing
don't
paths.
Have branching paths. Don't have the +1/+1 to get your attack to armor.
Yeah.
You don't get. Yeah, you get that 3 mana deal 4 or heal 8.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Guys, you guys can't see it because it's just the windscreen, but the faces Craig makes while doing this is just it's really funny. Okay, well, you guys, it was a fun series. You guys both played well. You both built decks really well to these restrictions, and thanks for putting on such a show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, is there anything else either one of you guys want to say? Any more questions, Appa?
No, I just think it's funny that Craig was like, I'm nervous about my Miracle Road play, and then he just crushed with that one.
Yeah, that was absolute god draw. Good job on that one, Craig. Good job drawing all those cards right on time.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I go, I'd like to say, first of all, we had Taylor, the undefeated queen, on Into the Wild this week. And we spent about 15 minutes talking about how much we hate Kingsbane Road. So I hope I made you proud, Taylor. And so yeah, obviously check out our show Into the Wild, and you can follow me on Twitter at Craig of Canada, CRAIG of Canada. If you can't spell Canada, you can't follow me. Peace, guys. Thank you.
Bye, Craig.
Great games, MattAtArms.
Good game,
Matt. Plug your stuff.
You can find me on Twitter, MattAtArms. Basically exactly how it's spelled, MattAtArms. Find me on Wednesday nights on the Hero Power podcast, where I also play, I talk about Hearthstone, I play decks, and make Versika cry by bringing press work drugs. And then, yeah, that's where you can find me, and I'm on most of the Discords. Just at me if you want to say hi.
Cool, Matt.
That's about it.
Thanks, buddy. Good games again. And Appa, plug your stuff, man.
You can find me on Twitter at appa_hs. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/appahs. I plan on streaming this week because my leg don't work right now because I got in a car wreck, so I'm not working right now. So this week's probably going to be school and streaming. And then you can also follow the organization that I play for is Crescent Esports on Twitter.
Cool.
And those people are great there. So
yes, they are. And of course, your fabulous show, Coin Concede. So.
Oh yeah, and duh. and I also am a co-host and frequent anchor on the Coin Concede podcast. So that's just at Coin Concede on Twitter.
Okay, cool. And I am Rod_Johnston on Twitter, Rod_Johnston on Twitch, and I am on Tier 5, a Hearthstone podcast. So if you're not a small child, listen to that, because otherwise you shouldn't listen to that. If you're a small child, not a good idea. So thanks.
I'm still waiting to get on there, man.
Oh,
Come
dude,
on.
Appa,
Let's make it happen.
Okay, Appa, this is going to happen. We are going to have you on next week. I got the fabulous Steve Wickedgood coming on, recording something with him tomorrow, so that should be interesting. But yes, you're coming on next week then.
All right, cool.
Okay, guys.
I'm down.
Thanks everybody for hanging out. It was a fun match. We got one more match tonight, which is Nate Wolf versus who's Nate playing?
Nate Wolf is playing versus Wildcard, and that's going to wrap up week 4 before we go into week 5, which will be no deck building restrictions.
Yep, and we got Saucy Mailman and Wickedgood casting that, so there's awesome casting going along with that. So thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we will see you later.